Good morning, everybody. Today I'm going to be working over by the carrot seed area, and we've got some carrot seed stems up at the house already drying off so that we can get those seeds off. I want to get the rest of them off. I left maybe half of them on just in case I was taking the ones that I did take off too early. So I always like to have two batches. But the apple tree here, I think it was yesterday, yesterday I collected all the apples off the tree. Not many. There had been about 80 of them at one point. But I don't know where they go. I guess some animals climb up there. That's possible. I can always blame it on the animals. There were some on the ground. But whatever the case, I gathered them all up, and our guests from out of town peeled and sliced 4 pounds of them, and I made an apple cobbler. That was quite the hit of the day. But so yeah, that apple tree's done now, and I was really surprised that we didn't get as many apples as we did. I was hoping for a lot more, but you know, at least we got some. So we have other apple trees. Hopefully next year I've got a Wolf River that'll be giving us apples, and maybe that pippin over there, which I'm surprised did not give us anything this year, not even blossoms. Hopefully next year. Alright, let's get to those carrot seeds. So these seeds look pretty good. I'm just going to cut the stems like that, and you can actually make out the individual carrot seed on the stems, on the little flowers. This is great. Next year, we're going to be saving seeds from our Scarlet Nance carrots. We had a good crop this year. These carrot seeds are from a variety called Jean de Dube. Danielle loves to grow Jean de Dube. In fact, we have a few of them growing over in the other garden. So I'll just cut these off. As I'm cutting off the carrot flowers, let me just show you these things on the ground here. These are the old onion plants that I put in the ground that we grew our onion seed on, and they're all done. The onions are up at the house. In fact, I spent a couple hours this morning cleaning the onion seed, and I hope to mail onion seed out to our friends who sent us a self-addressed stamped envelope probably next Wednesday when we go to town again. And but those are the stems and the whatever you want to call it, of the onions that grew the seed for us. At one point during the late summer, it appeared as though an insect was getting to our carrot seed, and I got desperate to try to save them. So one idea that Danielle had was to put that little nylon bag over them. It breathes, and it's meant for that purpose. So we put that bag over, and hopefully that did the trick. Although the carrot seed flowers that I just cut off have a lot of seeds also, but we're just trying everything. So I'm going to open up that bag and get into those carrot seeds. Whoa, there's something interesting. We don't want that guy. Do we, guy? We don't want you. That looks a little bit like a tobacco hornworm on there. They grow up to be very beautiful moths. You don't really want them on your tomato plants. So there we go, some beautiful carrot seed pods right there. I'll be taking all these up to the house for cleaning. They have to dry out a little bit first though. I think we've got them all. Here's one maybe. Yeah, there's a few right there. This would be a lot of fun cleaning these carrots. Carrot seed, I should say. I'll clean all this up later on. Maybe tonight when I do chores. Here's our lamb's quarter seed. It's almost ready to be harvested. We don't do lamb's quarter plants, but we do like to clean these seeds and dry them and then toast them along with the amaranth seed. I know you all are wondering when we cut the leek seed off down there. They look so beautiful. They can stay right where they are. They're not doing any harm, of course, but they're in good shape. We're not losing any, and I think I'm just going to leave them right there. I don't usually take those off until the latter part of September. And believe it or not, they won't be ready to clean until right around January. It takes that long for them to dry out. These seed pods are so thoroughly dried out, I don't have to save the stems now. During these trying times, I believe that it's very important to become as self-sufficient as you possibly can. And saving your own vegetable seeds is one of the best ways you can do that. You can accomplish that. These are biennial vegetable seeds. Now Danielle saves all of the annual vegetable seeds that we use, and I'm in charge of the biennials. But it's important that when you're saving seed that you do not save from hybrid plants. They should be heirloom or open pollinated vegetable seed. Otherwise, the results you'll get when you replant your seeds, they won't grow true to form, true to variety. Just a word about that right here. The hybrid seeds have two different parents obviously, and if you were to save seed from a hybrid vegetable, it would revert back to one or the other of the parents, which is not the worst thing in the world. It's just that it won't be the variety that you had hoped for. Now, if you save the seeds from that plant, your new plant, it would take about 7 generations before you got completely back to the original variety, one of that original parent. And even then, it won't be 100%. The best you can have is that it'll be 99% true to that original parent. Some of these varieties we know what the parents were, some we don't. Sometimes with a little bit of research, you can discover what the parents were. But the best thing to do, if you're interested in saving seed whether it be biennial or annual, is to choose open pollinated seed. And oftentimes, open pollinated seed will also be referred to as heirloom. There is a difference between open pollinated and heirloom. If anyone is interested, I'll go into that in more detail. I'm always looking for things to talk about. Alright, I think that's good. These stems now can go in the compost heap. Alright, our job here is done now. I'm going to head back to the house now. I got a lot of firewood to pile. I'm not going to get it all done today. I have a late start. We saw our friend off, and then I came down here to get some carrot seed pods. And up at the house I was working on cleaning onion seed, and we're going to be ready to mail those out, if I didn't mention it, I think next Wednesday. So that's good. So there's our onion seed beginning their drying out process. It only take a couple of days. And they are right next to some beet seeds that we've already done. And then we'll be doing carrots as well. So the next step will be to collect them up after they've dried. Yeah, so I'm going to go up to the house and work on firewood. So I guess that'll just about do it from here. Oh, by the way, today's Friday. Now, next weekend is the Common Ground Fair. I recommend that you Google that if you want to know what I'm talking about. The acronym is MOFGA, MOFGA, and then Common Ground Fair. So we're going to visit that. We used to actually give a talk at the MOFGA Common Ground Fair on composting humanure actually. But we stopped doing it for this reason or that, and I could go into that detail, but I won't bother you with it. Anyway, we're going to go to the Common Ground Fair. It looks like we're thinking about Saturday, but it might be Friday. And of course I'll bring the camera with me because it's such an interesting event to go to. Yeah, so that'll be then, but we have a whole week before now and then. So, alright, I'll catch you on the next one tomorrow. Alright, bye.